Let's master the CBSE Class 10th Science Chapter 5 Life Processes, Transportation and Excretion. Transportation in human beings is a big circulatory system or a circulatory network that helps us transport all the essential nutrients, glucose, oxygen to every part of the body. Let us understand the transportation medium first. Blood is the transportation medium. So blood is used to transport oxygen, food and other substances through the body. Blood consists of fluid-like medium called plasma in which red blood cells are suspended. Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste in dissolved form, and the red blood cells transport oxygen. Now this blood travels in two different types of tubular structures, veins and arteries. The vessels that carry deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body to the heart are called veins. They have valves to prevent the blood from flowing backwards. And the vessels that carry oxygenated blood from heart to all parts of the body are called arteries. They have thick walls as the blood from the heart has high pressure. Now, on reaching the tissues, these arteries divide into smaller and smaller vessels to bring oxygenated blood in contact with every cell. The smallest vessels are 1 cell thick, which are called capillaries. Now, exchange of material happens at these thin walls, and later all capillaries join to form veins to send the deoxygenated blood to the heart. Let us now look at the pumping system, which is our heart. Let us see the parts of the heart. We know that our heart is divided into 4 chambers, precisely the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. This is separated by a septum. Other veins and important arteries here like the vena cava, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery and the aorta. Let us see how the blood is pumped for it to be transported through the body. The deoxygenated blood from all the veins in the body reaches the vena cava, and from the vena cava this blood enters the right atrium when it is relaxed for maximum blood flow. The right atrium then contracts and the blood moves from the right atrium to the right ventricle. The right ventricle then contracts and pushes the blood into the pulmonary artery, which carries this deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. So pulmonary artery is the only artery that carries deoxygenated blood. The pulmonary vein brings the oxygenated blood from the lungs, and this enters the left atrium when it is relaxed. So similarly, pulmonary vein is the only vein that carries oxygenated blood. The left atrium contracts and pushes the blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle again contracts and pushes this blood into the aorta. The blood from the aorta is transported to all parts of the body. In reality, both the atrium receive blood from both vena cava and pulmonary veins simultaneously, and then both the atrium contract together, push the blood into both the ventricles, and then both the ventricles contract and send deoxygenated blood to the lungs through pulmonary artery and oxygenated blood to all parts of the body through the aorta. Since the blood goes through the heart twice during each cycle, once to get oxygenated and next time after oxygenation, it is called double circulation. In animals which are cold-blooded, as they do not use energy to maintain body temperature and do not have higher needs like fish and amphibians, the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood need not be separated like in mammals or birds. Hence, the blood undergoes single circulation where some mixing of blood is possible. Now, if there is a leak in the circulatory system, it will cause such a loss in the blood, and also the pressure of pumping gets affected. So, there are platelets flowing along with the blood that help in blocking any leaks in the circulatory system. Now, along with the circulatory system, there is another system in the body for transportation of fluids, which is called lymphatic system. Lymphatic system transports lymph. Lymph is nothing but plasma, protein and blood cells that have escaped into the intercellular spaces. This drains the tissue fluid back into the blood and also carries digested and absorbed fat from the small intestine to all parts of the body. Now that we've understood the transportation system in human beings, let us answer a quiz to see how much we have learned. First question: which blood vessels take blood from the heart to the lungs for oxygenation, and which bring the oxygenated blood back to the heart? Right. Pulmonary artery takes the blood to the lungs and pulmonary vein brings it back to the heart. Second question: what is double circulation? Right. In each cycle of the heart, blood is pumped through twice, which is called double circulation. Third question: what is lymph and how is it transported? Lymph contains plasma, protein, and blood cells which escape in the cellular spaces. It is drained back into the blood through the lymphatic system. Now, let us move to transportation in plants. Plants also need a transport system that can transfer water, other nutrients from the soil to the leaves for photosynthesis and carry soluble product of photosynthesis to where the plant need them. Plants achieve this with the help of tubular structures called xylem and phloem. Xylem helps in transport of water and phloem helps with the transport of soluble product of photosynthesis. Let us see how transport of water takes place in plants. So the soil is the nearest and the richest source of water and other ions for a plant, and the roots, which are in direct contact with the soil, help in absorbing them. The roots in the soil actively take up ions which create a difference in their concentration between the soil and the roots. Water then actively moves into the roots to eliminate this difference. This creates a steady movement of water along the channel of xylem. However, this pressure itself isn't completely enough to reach water to the height that we see in plants every day. So plants have another mechanism to pull water up. So plants generally lose water from their leaves through stomata as water vapor called transpiration. Now this transpiration helps in upward movement of water and also for temperature regulation. So the loss of water through transpiration gets replaced by the water from the xylem vessels. Therefore, transpiration creates a pull for water to move up to the leaf. In plants during day, transpiration becomes a major driving force for water, and during the night, the root pressure itself helps in movement of water. The transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation. It occurs in the vascular tissue called phloem. The translocation of food takes place with the help of sieve tubes and adjacent companion cells for both upward and downward direction. So materials like sucrose and glucose are transferred to the phloem tissue from the leaf using energy sources like ATP. This creates an osmotic pressure in the phloem which causes water to move into it, and this water moves the material to locations where there is less pressure. This allows the phloem tissue to move the glucose as per the plant needs. So in spring season, most of the glucose is moved towards the fruits and the flowers for their growth. Now that we have learned transportation in plants, let's answer a small quiz on this. Which process is essential for water to reach to the leaf? Yes, the answer is transpiration. Second question: what is translocation? The process of transportation of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation. Which pressure helps in translocation? Osmotic pressure helps in translocation. Now move to the excretion section of life processes. The human body has an excretory system to excrete nitrogenous and other waste in the body. Let us look at the parts of the human excretory system. So we have a pair of kidneys and its functional unit called nephron, which are fed by the renal artery, and then we have a ureter and then flowing into the urinary bladder, ending with urethra. Let us see the process of urine formation in the kidneys. Urine is formed to excrete nitrogenous and other waste like urea and uric acid from the body. So the renal artery brings this waste in the form of blood to the kidneys for filtration. Like alveoli in the lungs, the kidneys have thin-walled blood capillary structures for filtrations called nephrons. So each nephron has a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule. This collects the initial filtrate from the blood. As the filtrate passes through the nephron tube, some amino acids, salts, glucose, water, etc. are reabsorbed by the renal vein. And how much water is reabsorbed depends on the amount of water in the human body. The urine formed in each nephron then moves into a collecting duct. From all the collecting ducts of different nephrons, the urine finally reaches the ureter and passes through it, reaching the urinary bladder where it is stored. The urine is stored in the urinary bladder until it expands and gives the urge to pass it through the urethra. The urinary bladder is a muscular organ, hence it is under nervous control, and urine is passed when you feel the urge to pass it. Let us now see excretion in plants. So apart from oxygen, water, carbon dioxide, plants excrete their dead cells and waste products stored in leaves by falling these leaves off. Plants also release certain waste material in them from the roots into the surrounding soil. Waste products such as resins and gum stored in the old xylem plants are excreted from its bark. Let us now answer a quiz on excretion. Why is urine formed? Right, to excrete the nitrogenous waste and other products like urea and uric acid from the body. Second question, what is the filtration unit in the kidney called? Right, it is called nephron. Third question, what are the ways in which plants excrete? Right, plants excrete through dead leaves, resins, gums, from bark, through roots nearby in the soil, carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen during respiration and photosynthesis. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. Hope you have understood the concept and scored well in your quiz. Like and share this video. Comment on this video on what would you like to watch next. Subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon for more such videos. You can also connect with us on WhatsApp and Instagram from the link in the description, where you can find MCQ questions, detailed notes, and everything else to help you with your 10th board journey.